What time is it? Oh shit.
The walk of shame for the girls in the morning, the heels the morning after. And I've been that girl too, walking back from a night, even if I'm staying at a friend's house and I'm walking back the next morning with my outfit on, and you get the looks, even the way that you kind of like make yourself feel sometimes too, and it's this negative feeling, and you shouldn't have to feel like that for going out and having fun. And that's what this hookup culture has like blanketed.
I think that hookup culture is kind of an inevitable part of our society. With everything so attainable and easy, people become that way too. I don't like it, but I participate in it. I feed into it, and I think it's not just a part of college today, but a part of life today.
I think I'm a dying breed because I hate the hookup culture. Literally, like, someone's putting their dick in you, and then they're putting their dick in a bunch of other girls. When you're with someone and you, like, share, like, special moments, you're, like, literally giving something that you can't get back, which is, like, your time. Like, you're giving a part of your life to someone else. And, I mean, some people are okay with just, like, never talking to someone after they hook up with someone. That would bother the crap out of me.
My experience with the hookup culture is that I had to use that as a way to rebuild myself after I was destroyed, and the big thing is that I used people not in a good way, and I'm still apologizing, like, to this day, to the people who I, like, used, because, like, that wasn't fair to them.
It's, like, fun at the moment, but then the next morning when you wake up, like, not knowing where you are, like, waking up with, like, a stranger in your bed, I think that's, like, what really hits you. I feel like reality hits you once that happens. You're like, wow, like, I need to stop. But the next Friday night, you do the same thing.
You see it everywhere when you go to parties, girls that are just way too drunk, hanging all over some guy, and the guy's just feeding her more alcohol. Honestly, I think it's sad to see. And it makes you, I've never had a friend who was severely taken advantage of personally, but I know it happens all the time. So I think it's a good thing to bring awareness to it, because it's definitely an issue that goes on specifically in college.
Like, I do believe there's double standards. Like, guys can hook up with, like, other girls and there's nothing wrong with it, and then girls can do the same and we're called sluts. Like, hooking up with someone sometimes, like, it doesn't feel the same, like, when you actually, like, love someone. You do feel empty.
I totally think there's a double standard, because, like, if I see a guy taking a girl home, I think like he's taking advantage of her more than she's taking advantage of him. Like, and it's so crazy because I know how girls act, and I know that we're manipulative and awful, but then again, like, guys are also the same way. But I totally think there's a double standard, and I think that guys are totally like pigs, and then girls are just like taken advantage of.
I really don't know if I have too much of an opinion on it. I don't really go out of my way to try and hook up with people. I'm just, I consider myself like an awkward Venus flytrap. Like, if they get lured in by my scent, like, there's nothing I can do. I just continue to exist. Putting yourself out there and getting acceptance is a huge boost to your self-confidence. So, if you can go out there and pull, it's definitely bragging rights in today's day and age.
It's just kind of a progression that I think America's kind of gone through. There's always been, like, a different type of standard throughout ages that even you see in movies, you see now it's just kind of like you can do whatever you want, and it's acceptable in today's society. For the most part, like, there still are those people that are committed, and there still are those people that, like, get married to their high school sweethearts, but it's few and far between now.
I definitely have been in a situation where I hooked up with someone and I wanted it to be more, but in the day, I think it happens. Something was like meant to be from it, then it will. It sucks, but I think that feeling something is important, obviously, and when you're with someone, you want to feel something with someone, obviously.
I'm a fan of it because I got out of that game so fast, and I found somebody who clicked instantly with my crazy. People in the hookup culture, they're just trying to find that click. They're just trying to find that connection. And if they have to go through 10 or 5 or however many people, for me it was 7. I mean, it takes a while. Like, you have to find people that you jive well with. And I feel like trial and error is the best way to go.
In this day and age, I think, 20, 30 years ago, things were a lot different. People were more traditional. Me personally, I'm more of a traditional person. So I think nowadays the stereotypes is like, oh, you have to go out, you have to hook up with someone, like otherwise like your night was like a waste.
I think it's up to the person in general. I think it's kind of like, personally, I think it's just like kind of out of control. Like I feel like it's just like that's all anybody cares about anymore. I mean, as long as you're safe and like it's your choice, go for it. Like don't care what people think or say. Like really, Drake said it best, YOLO, you only live once. Like you have to do, but like you have to just like live it for yourself. Like if that's what you want to do, go for it. Just be careful, be safe.
I think there can be like issues with insecurities and issues between people if something goes wrong, but I think you have to know what you're doing if you want to be involved in the hookup culture, so I don't think you should get into something like that if you know it's not going to work out for you. It could go either way, you know?
As with most things in life, it really requires a balance, and just like in college with something like drinking that really requires balance, I think sexuality really needs that, and especially in college, people tend to overdo everything. Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing.